Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, my name is Josh, and in today's video I'm going to be reviewing the Wells Fargo Signify Business Cash Credit Card. So I'll be going over the main features of this card, its pros as well as its drawbacks. So hopefully by the end of this video you'll have a much better idea of whether or not this credit card is a good fit for you. But before we go ahead and dive into the main features of this card, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Plus, if you would like to receive up to $200 in free stock in a pinned comment below, I will be leaving a link to Robinhood. All you have to do is once you click on that link is just sign up for a free account and then simply link your bank account. You do not even have to make an opening deposit. At that point in time, Robinhood will be sending you one free stock worth all the way up to $200. Okay, so diving right into the main features of this credit card. First off, we're going to be talking about cash back and how you can earn it with this card. So with this card, you'll be earning an unlimited 2% cash back on all transactions across all categories. Once again, there are no caps, so it doesn't matter whether you spend 1 penny or if you spend $1 million. On all those transactions, you will be earning a flat amount, 2% in cash back. Now with this card, there's also going to be a spend bonus as well. So as long as you're able to spend at least $5,000 within the first 3 months of having this credit card, you will be receiving a spend bonus of $500, which all in all is pretty solid. That's going to be a 10% discount on the first $5,000 you spend pretty much. And then as far as how you can redeem all of the cash back that you'll be earning with this credit card, well, you will have a few different options. These include in-account credit, so it's going to lower your overall balance. You can also redeem your cash back for travel, so like flights, car rentals, or hotel stays. And then finally, you can also redeem your cash back for gift cards as well. Now with this card, there are also some other benefits you'll definitely need to keep in mind. So these include the zero liability protection. So if someone picks up your card and goes off and spends hundreds or even thousands of dollars with it without your authorization, then you are not going to be held liable to pay for these transactions because you did not authorize them. Then on top of that, it's also going to come with MasterCard ID theft protection. You're also going to be receiving access to the Priority Pass, although you will have to pay as you go. Through the lounge fees though, you're not going to be receiving any complimentary visits. You're also going to be receiving worldwide automatic common carrier travel accident insurance of up to $250,000. And then finally, you're also going to be receiving master rental insurance coverage. So this is going to be reimbursement for covered physical damage and or theft of a rental vehicle with primary protection. So now that we went over the main features of this card, at this point in time, we are going to go ahead and dive into the APR and fees, because of course this is also super important as well. So starting out on your purchases, you are going to have a 0% introductory APR for the first 12 months. This is a pretty good benefit because, for example, maybe you have a lot of larger transactions coming up and maybe you don't have the cash set aside right now to pay all those off, or you don't want to be cash poor. So for the first 12 months, you don't have to pay that balance off in full and you won't have to pay any interest on that balance. However, before those 12 months are up, you'll definitely want to make sure that that balance is paid off completely, because after the 12 months in, at that point in time, you are going to have an interest rate of anywhere between 18.49 and all the way up to 26.49%. And unfortunately, I see a lot of people make the mistake of building up a huge balance because they have a 0% introductory APR. And then whenever the 12 months in, they have this huge balance, but yet they don't have the cash set aside to pay that off in full. And then they end up having to pay a lot of interest. So that is definitely a trap that you'll definitely want to avoid falling into. Then as far as cash advances go on this channel, we usually recommend to stay far away from cash advances. This of course should not be considered financial advice, just my own personal reasons. Usually with them you have a very high interest rate, plus you have to pay a lot of fees as well. But if you do decide to take out a cash advance with this card, just know that your interest rate on them is going to be a whopping 29.99% plus a lot of fees as well, which we are going to go ahead and dive into right now. So as far as the fees fees go, starting out on your cash advances, you are going to have a fee of either $10 or 5% of the amount of each cash advance, whichever happens to be greater. So if you take out a cash advance of $300, in that case, your fee is going to be $15 on top of the 29.99% interest rate. Then on top of that, with this card, unfortunately, there is going to be a foreign transaction fee of 3%. So if you travel abroad, whether it's for business or for personal reasons, and you use this credit card while abroad, unfortunately, you are going to be hit with a 3% foreign transaction fee, which means this is a credit card you'll probably just want to leave back at home and instead take another travel credit card, one that does not have a foreign transaction fee, or take a credit card by Capital One, for example, because Capital One credit cards typically do not have foreign transaction fees. Then on top of that, there's also going to be a late payment fee of up to $40. Now, if you happen to pay late once, maybe even twice, you could always try calling into Wells Fargo and ask if they will waive that fee for a one or maybe even second time convenience. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. It definitely does not hurt to try. But in the future, or even right now starting out, you might want to consider setting up autopay, marking your calendars, do whatever you have to do. Make sure that you are paying on time. That way you can avoid having that late payment fee of, once again, up to $40. And then finally, as far as the annual fee goes with this credit card, another pretty good benefit of this card is the fact that there are no annual fees. So you don't have to sit around and consider every single year whether or not this credit card is worth renewing or not, because there are no annual fees. So you might as well go ahead and keep it. So now that we went over the main features of this card as well as the APR and fees, at this point in time, I'm going to go ahead and dive into what I will consider to be the best things about this credit card and the worst things about this credit card. Now we're going to start out with the best things. We're going to start out with the pros. The first pro of this credit card is the fact that you can earn that massive spend bonus of $500 as long as you spend at least $5,000 within the first 3 months of having this credit card. Now for some people that might be a little bit more difficult depending on how much they spend on their credit card on a month-to-month basis. For others it might be quite easy. Another pro of this credit card is simplicity. So you're going to be earning 2% cash back across the board, which is pretty solid all in all. If you look at other credit cards where you might just be earning 1.5% cash back, 2% cash back with this credit card is pretty solid, and it's also going to be unlimited. Also with this credit card, there are no annual fees as a plus as well. And then finally, you're going to have that 0% introductory APR on purchases for the first 12 months. So if that works for you, that can be pretty advantageous as well. So those are the best things about this credit card. As far as the drawbacks go, the first drawback is that 3% foreign transaction fee. So if you do happen to travel abroad, once again, this is a credit card you'll probably want to leave back at home. That way you can avoid the 3% foreign transaction fee and instead take one that does not have foreign transaction fees. Then on top of that, I guess if I wanted to be super picky, I could say they don't offer any other categories where you can earn even more than 2% cash back. It would be great, for example, if you earn 2% cash back on everything, and then on other things like office supplies or travel or something like that, maybe you could earn 3, 4, or even 5% cash back. They don't offer that. Instead, 2% cash back across the board. Also, on top of that, you cannot transfer your dollars to like travel partners or anything like that to boost your value. Again, though, that's really just me being super picky. And then finally, you must also have a Wells Fargo checking or savings account to apply online. So for some people, that might be jumping through extra hoops just to apply for this credit card, at least online. But to sum this card up, all in all, I would say it's a really solid credit card to have. You're getting really solid cash back at 2% cash back. You're also going to have the ability to earn the $500 in spend bonus. So all in all, this is a pretty good credit card to have, and definitely one that I would recommend. But that's all we have for today's review. I certainly hope that you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate if you could give this video a like, consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video.